today I'm going to explain to you exactly what LUFS metering is and how you can use it to master your music perfectly for Spotify, Beatport, Apple Music and all the other streaming platforms. So this is something that I was asked about in the comments of my last video, so I decided to cover it today. And I'm going to give you a live example of how I master a track for CD and Beatport and how I master it for Spotify and other streaming services. If you like this video, hit that subscribe button and click that bell to get more music production tips each and every week. So firstly, what is LUFS? Well, it stands for Loudness Units Full Scale, but you don't need to worry too much about that. All it really is, and all that really matters, is that it's a way of measuring average volume rather than peak volume. Okay, so what do I mean by that? You've got peak volume, which is the maximum volume that your signal will hit at any time, and the loudest it can get is 0 dB full scale, and if it goes above that, it starts to clip. And average volume is, well, exactly that. It's the volume measured over a period of time. And the louder the average volume, the louder it sounds to our ears. But basically, LUFS was developed primarily for television commercials, because you know when you watch a program and then the television commercials come on, they're really loud. LUFS was designed to be able to handle that properly. And we use it now because if you've got a service like Spotify, for instance, if you listen to a dubstep track with a really loud average volume, even though it's peaking at 0 dB, and then you listen to a much quieter average volume track like a jazz track, it still peaks at 0 dB, but there's a lot less going on and it's a lot less in your face. Obviously, there's a huge difference there and it sounds weird, so streaming services like Spotify attenuate the volume of each track as they play it back, so it sounds like a nice smooth listening experience to you. So something with a low average volume will get boosted up by Spotify, and something with a really loud average volume will get taken down by Spotify, so it's a nicer experience for listening to. Wait. So let me just explain to you about dynamics. Dynamics is basically the difference between the quietest part of your track and the loudest part of your track. And the more dynamic a piece of music is, obviously the more variation in volume. Now something like a really hardcore dubstep track doesn't have much dynamic variation, it's pretty much full on, whereas something like that jazz track I mentioned will have lots of peaks and troughs in volume and it's going to be a lot more dynamic. So in this day and age it pays to have more dynamics in your music if it's going to be played on something like Spotify. So the average volume will be played the same, but one of them will have a lot more dynamics, so it's going to be more pleasing and interesting to the ear. So the tool that we are going to use is the Boolean loudness meter. It's completely free and it's a great tool for measuring LUFS values, so you can get that by clicking the link below this video. Okay, so here's that live example I wanted to show you. So I've just brought this track in by an artist called Conway. He's actually a graduate from my 8-week masterclass and he wrote this track called Losing Control. So let's have a listen to the mixdown file. You can see there's plenty of headroom on it. And we'll open up our Boolean loudness meter, which is the one I mentioned, and let's see what it's hitting. So these are the two readouts that you really want to be paying attention to mostly: the peak volume and the integrated LUFS volume, which is over a longer period of time. So you can see at the moment we've got 2.3 decibels of headroom on the peak, and it's hitting -15 on the LUFS. Now we want that to be -14 for Spotify, so I'm just going to add this gain plugin, boosting up the peak value. And you want to be looping the busiest or the loudest part of the track, because that's where you want to set your LUFS levels to. So now I've boosted a couple of dB, 2.3. Our peak is about 0, which is great. The LUFS is -12.5. So this track is actually quite loud, like a very high average volume, because it's that future bass sound and it's had processing done on the mixdown stage. So I would actually bounce it like this, and then I would send that or upload that to Spotify via my aggregator, and then that, or my distributor, sorry, and then that would be a more or less a good volume for Spotify. Ideally it should be -14 LUFS, so you know I might notch it down a little bit on the gain, on the peak, and then it's at -13, which is a bit better. But if I was to have this uploaded to Beatport, or I wanted to play this in a nightclub, I want that LUFS value to be a lot higher, because the nightclub limiters will just be concerned about peak volume, not the LUFS value. So this is an instance where the loudness war is still applicable. So in that case, I would apply my mastering process. I'm not going to go through the whole process in this video, but you can check out that video there or there, wherever it is, and to see my mastering technique. But I'm just going to put a limiter on it. So if we pump up this limiter, what you're going to hear is it's going to sound louder, but the peak level will stay the same. It can't go louder than 0 dB, but the average volume is going to go up, so it's going to sound a lot louder. So let's do that. And then look at this LUFS integrated value. So our peak volume is still 0 dB, but now our LUFS integrated value is about -7, which is what I tend to aim for with tracks, but it depends on the genre, and always check against your reference track. So I would chuck another track in here, like downloaded from Beatport in the same genre, and I would check their LUFS integrated value and then try and match it more or less with mine. Obviously you don't want to be killing the sound. You might get it a little bit off, but more or less, you know, if you've got some really heavy dubstep track and it's at -3 or -4 LUFS, that's pretty hardcore, to be honest, in my opinion. But then you might try and match yours to about -4 as well. So there you have it. That is my live example of how I would set different LUFS levels for different purposes. Now we go into way more depth into stuff like this in my 8-week EDM production masterclass, so if you are interested in that, you can click the link below to find out more. And as I said, the track in this video was by one of my students in that class, and he had only been producing for about 6 or 7 months when he produced this. So if you are interested in really quick results and getting some proper one-on-one tuition, check out that link below. If you've got any questions, drop them in the comments below and I will answer them. Until next time, thanks for watching, cheers and happy producing.